What's up, you guys? It's your boy, Jovon Dangerfield, and we are back for another episode of Two-Way Conversations and Mental Health.
That's right.
Yippee!
Right. We're here. We're here.
I got my guy here. This is my guy right here. I love this guy, all right? This guy is, first of all, just a beautiful soul, a beautiful heart, a beautiful person, a beautiful man, a beautiful human being. He is a humanitarian. He is a public servant. He is a leader. He is, this guy is a freaking champion. You see the intro? It's cold, huh? What do you think?
Solid.
Are you in tears right now?
It's solid.
Wipe those tears away,
emotional.
baby.
Oh, no, just kidding. No,
I love it.
You do too much. I appreciate the love, though.
Alex
I
Garcia.
think, thank you. No, I think that I stand up. I'm an advocate and a voice for my community, and I just bring it. I think that's what people love and respect about me. But sure, I'll take it. I'll take all the credit if you say so.
And you're a wonderful human being.
Well, no.
Vice Mayor of Wasco, City Councilman, currently running for Kern County Supervisor, District 2.
That's right.
That
District 4. District 4.
District 4.
That's right. Sorry.
Look
District
at you. 4. District 4. And we'll get into that in a second. But just seeing you last night, or 2 nights ago, parade.
Yeah.
How did it feel?
It was amazing.
It was good,
It was
man.
amazing. And thank you, by the way, for coming out and showing the love.
Of course, dude.
We go back a long time, so I appreciate you coming out because I've seen you in the community, and I'm always there for you. And so I appreciate you, sharing the love. We had a good time, and I always love these Christmas parades because I think it brings out the spirit of the small town. And this time, in the capacity of being a candidate, I've been able to be in all of the Christmas parades.
Right.
That our little small towns in Kern County put on, and it's beautiful. I love the turnout. It's they're all looking for a good time, and there's always a good spirit. And I had a good time just the other night. And where were we together?
Arvin.
They're all mixing up
Arvin.
together now. Yeah. Arvin was a good time.
Arvin was
It
dope,
a good time.
dude. There was a lot of people there.
Yeah, I know, it was a blast. There was it was a big turnout, and even for Wasco on Saturday, Wasco being my hometown, there was a big turnout for that one, and it's constantly growing. And I'd love to see it was the biggest turnout.
You're like a celebrity,
in a long
dude.
Time. They love
You gonna sign something
to hoot
for
and
me?
holler, I suppose. That's because I'm just a woo girl myself in spirit.
Come on.
And I try to bring the energy, and so I just get them all excited when I'm
Yeah.
coming down the street.
Yeah, man, you do, man. You
Yeah.
do. Your heart is.
Not having that quiet stuff,
Yeah, nah. That's the thing. Even when we do shows like this and stuff, you notice how people get so uptight about everything? Those are the people that don't belong in what we do.
It's okay. You can be quiet.
You can be over there.
If you want
But
to be
over
quiet,
here, it's all about authenticity. It's about being yourself, because there's a reason why you're at where you're at. There's a reason why I'm at where I'm at. And it didn't come from trying to make everybody happy. No. It came from being the best expression of ourselves, whether you feel good about it or not.
Yeah.
You can be in the comments.
Yeah.
We'll be on the post.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I stay out of the comment section for one, if that's what we're talking about.
Whack.
I stay out of that area because everyone's gonna have their opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a space for people to express their satisfaction or dissatisfaction with any kind of policy. I've always held an open door policy with my office, and even as mayor, I used to do Mondays with the mayor, even Moms and Mayor in the park. We would do office hours. In the pandemic. We couldn't do indoors, so we would do it outdoors for a while. And I was always open ears, and I hold that true when it comes to crafting policy as well. I don't believe that just because I'm a Democrat, I'm going to have this belief on any kind of given policy. I'm always open ears with everyone, and I think that kind of rubs people the wrong way. They think, why is he running with so-and-so? Or, they've called me the establishment Democrat, which I don't know why. I don't understand why I've earned that label, because the truth is I'm just a community leader who has the interests of my residents at heart. And sometimes that may not be what everyone wants me, to believe or do, but I'm not gonna, go along to get along, and that's just my business. We've stood up to the state, we stood up to to Goliath at one point, and people laughed at me at one point and thought, hey, what are you doing? Why are you going up against, this governor or the authority? But we did, and we did it because it was the right thing to do by our residents.
That's crazy. How did you get involved to get from where you were to being the mayor and to going even more into how did you start out?
Well, for me, it started off in college. I was doing voter registration as a volunteer in the rural communities of Fresno County.
Okay.
I went to Fresno State, and so...
Bulldogs?
Yes, go Dogs.
There you go. There
And
you go.
I started doing voter registration in communities like Fireball, Mendota, Sanger. And if you know or ever been through those communities, they look a lot like ours, a lot like mine.
For sure. Central Valley.
Definitely. And so I fell in love with it, and talking to people and being able to communicate, because I am bilingual, I've been able to connect with voters, especially working class, rural, farm working community voters, and being able to bring enfranchisement to them, which is the best of it is being able to vote, and voter registration is where it all started for me. I went on to do other campaigns for candidates, causes, different things. I worked on the president's re-election campaign in 2012 in Las Vegas. We did ACA, Affordable Health Care Education and Enrollment in Phoenix, and several candidates back here in San Francisco in the Central Valley. But then in 2015, that was when I decided it's time to move back to Kern County and do all that I've learned and what I've been doing in other communities for my hometown.
Right.
And I did. I came back home. Some people were like, "Who's this guy? What's this guy? Where are you? Coming on the scene? Who wants to be involved?" And I was like, "I'm from here. I'm a Wasco kid, And so a lot of people doubted me, and I was the underdog then. I still am the underdog in some ways. But I proved them wrong. I put in the work. I put my head down. I talked to the voters, went door to door, put in the work that's required of any winning candidate.
And now you're here.
And I took top 3, exactly, and now we're here.
Let's talk about the psychology of an underdog. I've been an underdog my entire life.
Yeah.
Always the last. There's a scripture that I adhere to that says, the last shall be first.
Huh.
That's kind of like my life, to be honest. I was always the last to get seen, the last to get noticed, the black sheep. Why does he think like that? Why is he acting like that?
Yeah.
Why is his personality big? Why does he want to laugh? Why does he want to be happy? Why is he always smiling? Why? And all the time I continue to rise past everyone that comments on me. And I've noticed that there are some inherent things that I deal with psychologically because of always being that person that was looked at or criticized heavy. You don't have to worry about being criticized when you hide all the time. You ain't got to worry, because ain't nobody know you.
Exactly. Well, what's the quote about the man in the arena? And so if you're not in the ring, then
right. So what is
you
the
really
psychology like for you in terms of how has it affected you to be an underdog? I know you channel it into power and all that, but what about the sides that people need to hear that maybe they might be struggling with that you've been able to power through or work through? What about those components?
Well, there's certainly the component of being the other, right? I didn't know why I was always picked on through school and elementary school, and I was always just different. And I don't say that to be poor me, but it's more like it taught me how to be tough and how to be on my own. And God bless my mom. She always was there for me in those tough times and said, "You know what, mijo, there's going to be a better day." And there always is. And I put it on my arm. You can't see it, but this too shall pass. I tattooed it on my arm in Hebrew to always remind myself that there's always going to be another day. There's always better times ahead. And so no matter what you're going through, it's important to face it. It's better sooner than later, and head on. And that's what I've done, and that's the spirit I've taken with all my triumphs and tribulations in life. But being the underdog, I think more to the root of your question is, it's a lonely endeavor. It can be a lonely endeavor. I think candidacy in general it can be a lonely endeavor. You'll have all these people around you that are supporting you and love on you, but it's up to you to drive yourself, your business, the campaign, whatever it may be. But I think that's what it's like to be the underdog, is that you have to be able to believe in yourself.
Do you ever
and
have people to talk to when times get super hard? Do you believe in counseling? Do you believe in going to therapy?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Have you went before?
You know what? I've taken advantage of the resources that I'm blessed to have through my health insurance, but it's something that's very recent and new for me that I'm just exploring.
Wow.
You know, it's not something that I'm that I'm used to, or that our community is used to.
Let's
but
touch
I
that in a
think-
minute too.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
keep going, keep going.
And I think that if we are going to enter this new era of mental health and mental health services and being advocates for these things, I need to know what they're like firsthand. And so I've been able to take advantage of it, especially through some of the trials and mistakes that I've made in my life. I've had to really look to myself and say, you know, why and how, and yeah, and so seeking out those resources are important, and I'm taking care of myself, thankfully, and I have a good support system around me. My family is amazing.
It's an uncomfortable
and
thing
my
at
partner
first?
as well. It is very uncomfortable because it's very new and you don't know how to approach
You're
it.
talking to some rando
yeah.
about your personal
Yeah,
life,
exactly.
and you're like telling
Yeah.
them how you feel, or you're telling them your business.
Well, it's an invitation to be honest with yourself. And what happens, the truth is you're paying somebody to tell you the things you don't want to hear. And if you're walking into that vulnerably and with an open mind, then good for you, because that's going to take you places that you've never really realized, to heights that you never imagined.
Wow.
And I think it makes it makes me a better person.
It does.
It certainly does.
It does.
I feel
Now,
good.
social media is supposed to be a reflection of the world.
Oh gosh,
You
is
know,
it?
in some ways. I mean, yeah, it's supposed to be really posting, showing,
True.
talking about things that are happening in the world.
In your life, yeah. That was the root of it, and I've always said that too. Like, they're like, why are you still on Facebook? I'm like, because I'm still connected with people that are, you know, that I'm not otherwise going to run into otherwise.
Right. So social media says that mental health matters. Social media says prioritize your mental health. Every post is about somebody protecting their energy. Yeah. Every post is about being healthy mentally, going to counseling. But is that really being reflected in our communities? Have we really caught up to that? Or is that just like a fad that's really taking place on social media? But off social media, families are still like, people are still like talking to a counselor, a shrink, a blah, 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 or whatever. These are conversations still happening. My parents, they ain't about to hear it right now.
No.
Why do you think that is?
Well, for one, it's a bit systemic, but it's also cultural. One, it's new. I don't think many people have had mental health services as a part of their health benefits, much less health benefits at all. Two, it's cultural. I mean, to have to, like I said, be vulnerable with a stranger and someone who knows no idea the rest of your life, right? Has no idea what the context of your life is.
Wow.
And you have to open up to them about the issues you're facing, whether they're marital, financial, mental, whatever they are. It's like I said, it's an opportunity, and it's an invitation to be vulnerable, and I think that's very new for our community.
It's funny how we trust physical health science in a heartbeat. You find out something's wrong with that heart, you find out something's wrong with that lung, you're there.
Yeah.
But you find out something's wrong with that brain, and you're like, I don't know, yeah. Like, golly.
Well, it's funny because very quickly, like my tia will be, I throw my tia under the bus, but that's a general term.
Shout out tia.
Shout out to my tia. That's a general term because we all have that tia, our grandma, abuela, mom, who, you know, is quick to be like, you know, sana colita de rana, you know, but at the same time.
Wait, meaning what?
Which is like, it's like a saying, like, feel better, but a literal translation is like frog, heel, tail of a frog. So it's like a little rhyme, but
you'll
it's
be all right,
really like it's gonna be all right, feel better, and this is going to make you feel better.
Okay.
But
what is this what is the proverbial this? Is it like some food? Is it?
Well, usually, you know, rubbing something on it like Vaporu or something. You know? but But then, like, if you were to say,
That's
like,
hilarious.
I'm depressed or I'm having these thoughts, and traditionally you've heard, stories of being told, like, oh, don't, just forget about that, or, suck it up, or, be a man about it, whatever those insert experience here, which I'm sure a lot of our watchers and followers and listeners can relate to that experience.
Heck yeah. And I think that's done more harm than good.
Oh yeah,
to
certainly.
be honest.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
for
yeah.
me, trying to find a way to tough everything out really got me to the point where I didn't really want to be vulnerable. Somebody asked me how I'm doing. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. See
Yeah,
this?
yeah, yeah.
See?
Oh, absolutely.
You guys are wearing these,
Yeah.
but you don't always want to wear these.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And I think vulnerability and talking about the things we go through and the things that we're feeling and the people that we are really have a lot to do with how well we do, period, across the spectrum.
Absolutely.
And I think we try to compartmentalize, like the glove compartment, right? And put those feelings in there. Yeah. But somehow they end up in the car.
Yeah.
They cross over.
I get you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want to jump into the next topic, and I think this is huge right now, especially for you. And if you're not the only, I don't know anyone else, but you're maybe the first or the only LGBTQ politician in Kern.
That's right.
For sure.
Yes.
And the first.
The first openly LGBT
Right.
elected official.
That-
yes,
yeah.
correct. Yeah. And that's something that didn't occur to me until like months after, but somebody had told me that. I'm like, oh yeah, I suppose that's right. Yeah.
So let's jump into this. Did you have like a time where you came out during your political career and kind of let it be known? Is that how this happened, or like how did this go down?
Well, it was kind of just something that was out and part of my life for a long time. When I moved back, that's just who I was.
Yeah.
And I was already used to that. I didn't go put it on an advertising board, or I wasn't on my slate mailer when I sent it out for city council.
Right.
But
And it shouldn't have to be.
And it shouldn't have to, I assumed.
Yeah.
But I feel like some people expected that, because whenever they were up in arms about me trying to raise the pride flag, they're like, oh, well, if I had known you were gay, I wouldn't even voted for you. And yeah, somebody said that.
For real?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Okay, we going there.
So no, yeah, it's
when
true.
you tried to raise the pride, tell me a little bit about when you tried to raise the pride flag and what, how did that feel? And
Well, we did that in 2021.
Okay.
It was almost in the wave of all the other cities doing it, and I was inspired by even the city up the road, Delano, was able to pass it and raise it. We attempted to do it, and it failed. It failed. And unfortunately, I think that I learned that we just weren't there yet. Our community isn't there yet. I know you see the state capitol waves the flag.
Yeah.
And other cities across the state do that. But Kern County,
Very typical in California,
we have to
by the
face
way.
it. Yeah, in Kern County, I mean, it's just a little different. And I just don't think we're there yet. And I learned something. I'm still young. I learned as a young elected official that, if I think that if I had included even more people in the conversation and in the idea, we could have come up with a different avenue to express solidarity with our LGBT community without really having to even cross that hill of controversy, right? So I learned something, that we're not there yet, but there are other ways. We ended up having the first, it was a visibility rally after that vote. A lot of people called it a protest, but it was really just an opportunity to, okay, that didn't work, but we'll try this. And we were going to do, I'll be honest, I was going to do like a Pride Festival like the next year. And I still want to, but I'll be honest, I was a little traumatized by the experience. So I definitely was
talk about
like,
that a little bit. And really one of the premises behind the show is for people that may be feeling like that and feeling, a little bit about the trauma that occurred. How did you feel about that? How did that make you feel? And I only ask you this before you answer is because we need to humanize public figures. We need to humanize politicians. on both sides of the spectrum, when you look at humanizing people that people see in public a lot, they're like, this guy's an object. And even on a
Yeah.
like
Or he
macro,
voted this way, so he must be a horrible
right,
person.
or even like Drake. Do you see the things people say to Drake or to these people that they see as just objects?
Yeah.
These guys are human beings.
Yeah.
You're a human being. So, touch on that a little bit. How did you feel?
Well, I mean, it makes me definitely think twice about how we want to move forward with any kind of projects or ideas. I feel like whenever I did something, I learned that you can't please people. You can't. You're not going to please everybody.
Have you ever found yourself
Because
trying to?
I have all the time. But what happened was there was a point where I was the mayor the first time, and then I did all these great things. We did all these great ideas and events and programs, but nobody knew about them because I didn't put it out there. I didn't want to be, I was trying to be humble. But then the second time around when I was mayor, we were putting it out there, and I said, we got to let people know about what we're doing. They got to be up to date, and that what made us a better council and made me a better community
For
leader,
sure.
I think, for it. But some people seen it as, Alex, doing his thing. Alex is, it's all about him, and I didn't really see it that way. I seen it more as like we have to put it out there because otherwise people are never going to know it ever happened.
Simple.
And so we had I think it was $100,000 community grants program that we did. We put together, and nobody knew about it. Nobody took advantage of it. I partly blame the pandemic because I feel like right before like the close of the application, it was like the pandemic hit. So I look forward to maybe trying that again in the future. But we've been able to deliver for the Wasco community and the residents in many other ways, like the vaccine vouchers, the clinics, the food programs, supporting the community leaders and nonprofits that are doing those programs. In other words, and so much more. Even like the camera rebate programs, if we put out a program where we would reimburse you for the costs of putting in and installing cameras in your home, security
And no
cameras.
matter how much good you do,
Right.
if people still aren't happy, does this affect you as a human being, not as a politician?
Sure.
Does it affect you mentally? Does it affect you?
Yeah, it definitely like takes a chunk out of your heart, and the proverbial candle like it dims a bit, to be honest. But I'm always motivated by like my niece,
Those that
the
love,
kids, and those that support and love, exactly. But the next generation, they deserve someone who's going to be a voice
No matter what.
for the right things now, because we've had to live with the impacts of the mistakes of generations leaders past.
Do you read comments on social media?
No,
Have you ever went through your
I've
own
definitely
comments?
learned to not do that.
Can you share why?
I think just because
Is it bad for the mental health?
it definitely is. It definitely is.
Heck yeah.
Even as the toughest person that I don't care. I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
It's definitely
That's a facade, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've learned that the loudest voices in the room aren't always representative of the majority.
They're not.
And
They're
it goes
not.
the same thing for social media. The keyboard warriors, that love to say everything that they want in the comment section, but would never tell it to your face or would never bring that comment to the
Right,
the city council
They
hall.
want it to stay in anonymity.
They just want to throw mud around instead of being productive. And it goes back to the quote about the man in the arena, and I don't pretend to have the answers or the right solutions to everything. I'm here just to try and give the best that I can while I'm here. And I look forward to seeing them on a commission or a board or maybe in my same position
Come on.
in the future.
What advice would you give underdogs, up and coming people that are different, people that may not be accepted by everybody on the from
the mainstream,
yeah, the
right?
mainstream
Don't
or
fit the
whatever.
mainstream.
Yeah, what
and I
advice?
used to think that I did, and I used to think I had to get like a law school degree, and I was on my way for that. Honestly, I thought I was going to get a law school degree, get a suit and tie, and become an elected official. But what I learned was
The elected official kit.
Yeah, the elected official kit. Here it goes. This is the program. $2.99.
Slick back hair.
Yeah, 7-day program. Done. No, but I learned, and through that experience in the community organizing that I did, that people don't care about your accolades, your titles, your labels. They just want to know if you care about what they care about.
Wow, that's
and whether you're going to be a good person and a good leader.
And you are.
And that's all that's required to be a community leader. And that's the message to anyone who maybe feel like, oh, maybe that's not for me. And I've been reached out to several other young people, especially LGBT persons who wanted to be in the public space as a community leader. And I told them it doesn't have to be as a council member. There's a commission, there's
field reps,
boards. You know, you can be on the staff to community leaders, exactly. But there's spaces, school boards, other parks board. There, you name it. And that's my message to young people or people who feel like they may be different or in other.
Yeah.
And that is, you know, just do it. You know, just do it, and you'll be surprised at the people that'll be behind you, because that's really all it takes is to have a good heart.
Yeah, I think we talk a lot about love, but do we always show it? I think we love people until they look different from us, and I am going as far to say some of the real issues in mental health are really because we're saying, oh, we love this, we love them, but we don't really want to hear about who people really are. I think our own love is misguided by our own filters. And that's why I go above and beyond to show love, so that I don't care what you want to do or want to be or how you are or who raised you. Dude, I'm gonna love you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm going to do that with my actions. And I think...
I want to stop on that, because I think... And very recently, especially on the campaign trail, it's very hard to ask for help. So somebody called me, and then you even called me too. It's like, hey, can I help you with something? Is there anything I need? I was like, in fact, we have a parade tomorrow night. I need you to be there. And I told her, I was like, look, I appreciate you calling. I never would have thought to reach out to you, you know. And there was one friend who, like, obscure friend, shout out to Blanca. She called me out of the blue. She called me out of the blue. She's like, hey, I see you all the parades. You know, what's going on? Like, how can I help you? And I was like, I'd love for you to come out. And that's the kind of love that I love, and that's real love.
That's real.
I wanted us to stop on you on that. That, because I think that's the kind of. It's one thing to say, you know, we're here for you, or prayers. But it's another thing to actually pick up the phone and check on someone, or stop by their work and drop with a coffee, or invite them to a lunch or something. And I think people need to realize that it's important to invest in. I put a lot of capital in other people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's your life.
And that's my life. I guess you're right. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
But I mean I intentionally do that because relationships are important. Like that's how we get things done. It's not one person. People love to say, Alex, you're amazing, you're doing a great job, you're doing great things. It's not me. It's
the squad.
It's the squad. It's people in the community, the leaders, and especially the staff.
Yeah.
The staff, like, they're the unsung heroes. They make us look good.
The team.
You know, people love to take credit about this and that, but it's always, most usually, a whole team and another person behind it. Bro. Especially when it comes to selected officials.
Come on.
We love to take credit that's not completely ours. But I make it a best effort to give credit where credit is due, especially when it comes to what we're doing in the city. We couldn't have done what we've done in accomplishing what we've done without the community and community leaders leaning in and being a part of speaking up for ourselves in the small town. Because being a leader in a small town, you're your own ambassadors. Yeah. And so that's what we did, for example, with the $25 million that we got for transportation projects in Wasco, $9 million of which goes to demolish the old labor camp facility. Yeah. But that was a magnet for crime and some other negative elements in our community. But we're excited to have that resolved. And we couldn't have done it without the team effort. But I'm excited to have led that.
We thank you for all the work that you're putting in. We thank you for being on Two-Way Conversations.
I appreciate it.
As always.
What?
That's right.
Shut up. What
That's
is this
right.
for? I don't need any gifts, man.
Oh yeah. So we just thank you for being on
Good,
there.
thank you.
Got a little something, something
Yeah.
in there.
Hopefully nothing worth over $50 because I have to report it.
No,
I'm just kidding.
no. We are cheap around these
Oh,
parts.
good. No, otherwise, that's all that matters to me is the thought. Sorry.
Well, once again, I'm Jovon Dangerfield, two-way conversations here at the Cognitive Center. I got my man Alex Garcia. You just heard some beautiful conversation between two individuals that love each other and love the people. We're back with you guys soon. We're out.
See ya. I told you I'm used to the camera. I probably should have opened it in front of the camera so people don't get like,
No, it was cool.
there's no check in there. He's hiding it.
Yeah.
Let's see, what do we got here?
You're a legend.
Thanks, man. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to promote these. So I got me my water, my Cognitive Center water bottle.
Come on.
And my Cognitive Center t-shirt. Gotta represent.
Come
Thank
on.
you. Thank
Come
you
on.
to the venue that had me. I
There you go.
appreciate it. It was so much fun today, being honest and open and raw with everybody. But there's so much more. You guys can always reach out to me on my social media and whatnot, or directly, and let's have coffee. Let's have lunch.